If you are somebody that wants to break free from addiction, one of the first things I will recommend that you do is that you should not focus on the addiction itself, because matter of fact, the addiction is not the problem. It never was. What you should focus on is on the real enemy, because there is something that led to your addiction. There is something you are running away from that chased you into an addictive lifestyle. So the addiction is not the real enemy. Once you come to terms with that, it will make a lot of difference, because until you identify and crush the real enemy, you will never experience the freedom that you desire. What addiction does, whatever the kind of addiction, is that it helps you to cope with the real enemy. The addiction becomes a coping technique, a strategy for reducing, mitigating the effect of the real enemy. It doesn't deal with the real enemy. And as long as the real enemy continues to breathe somewhere, it continues to stifle your effort at reaching full potential. So you don't need to cope with the real enemy. You don't need a coping mechanism. What you need is to have the real enemy crushed. For many of us, the enemy could be fear. That there is something you are afraid of, the fear to fail, that has led you into the lifestyle that you're dealing with. For some of us, it's grief. If you can think back, you will notice that it was from the time that this person died under questionable circumstances that you began to do drugs, that you began to be alcoholic, to be able to help you forget about your sorrows. For some of you, if you can look back, you realize that there was a betrayal. There could have been something that began to lead to insecurity. From the time you failed in that business endeavor, you began to stay late. You began to go to club. You began to do certain things. For some of us who are dealing with loneliness, can you take a moment to think? You will realize that it was from the time you were abused that lifestyle began. So what you don't realize is that it is poverty, it could be low self-esteem, whatever the factors are, something led to something. As soon as you identify the root cause, I guarantee you're 50% free. And then as soon as you deal with the root cause, you're going to be 100% free. I therefore recommend that you position yourself differently as you deal with what you're dealing with. You can make this. No, you can. All you need to do is get a copy of my book, Prison Break, and then enroll in the Prison Behavior Mastery Challenge, and you won't believe how easy it is to get free from what seems to be impossible. You will be fine.